think, number one, it speaks to the job of recruiting that Coach Meyer and his staff have done, right? Because you bring in elite level players. Then I think it speaks again to the staff and to Mick and all those guys who have developed those players, right? And then to the players themselves, that they've put in the effort and they are gifted. But, there's a lot of gifted guys out there that it goes to waste. These are an elite group of guys that have done an incredible job and now have put themselves in a position to have a lot of people that really would like to have them on their NFL football team.
How are you and Coach Fickell getting along? I mean, we always have to ask this because y'all are sort of both coordinators, whatever you want to call it. Just what's been your working relationship with him thus far?
Oh, it's great. Yeah, we spend a lot of time together.
Yeah.
We discuss everything, and I think that's good. It's neat for me to have a guy that we just keep bouncing ideas off of, back and forth in each other's office or in the meeting room. It's been very productive, and it's a work in progress. I mean, we haven't finished through the whole scheme yet, so we're working as we go. We're training through the event, as they say.
Was Von Bell, was he a luxury from the standpoint? They used him a lot. They brought him up on the line, covered the nickel receiver a lot. I mean, or the extra receiver a lot and stuff. Do you see the potential of having the same kind of safety play here next year with the guys you've got?
Don't know yet.
You don't know yet.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Vaughn
is that the way you'd like to play? I guess is what I'm.
Well, there's times you would.
Yeah.
Vaughn's a great football player, and I enjoyed watching him when I was here for bowl practice. Watching him and watching him on videos. We've watched every snap. He's done some really, really impressive things on tape.
Yeah.
Greg, they released your contract yesterday. It's only a one-year deal. Why is it a one-year deal? It seems like a lot of assistant contracts are two-year deals.
I mentioned that earlier. I said that no problem. I wouldn't read into that. It's more of a business thing for me because I'm still under contract at another place and all that stuff. I'm not going to get into all the specifics
But it's
of it.
logistical, more.
Yeah, I would not read into it from any way because I know the way people would like to read into it that are recruiting. Oh, he's not going to be there. Well, I wouldn't read into that. I just tell you that it's more of a business thing for me personally. Yeah.
Have you made a straight up question? Have you made a commitment to Urban Meyer for more than 1 year? I mean,
that's between he and I, but we have talked about how important it is.
Continuity.
And we've got a great group of coaches here, and I'm really, really thrilled to be part of that. And like you mentioned earlier, not to have all those head coaches things on my plate. Now, there's plenty of assistant coaches things I have on my plate. Trust me, different things, but I've enjoyed it, and I've enjoyed the camaraderie with the staff. It's different when you're the head coach. You fly in and you get out. You fly into the other room, you get out. You're all over the place. It's been fun to hunker down with what I think are three tremendous coaches. And Coach Combs, Coach Fickell, and Coach Johnson. And our young coaches, I think, are really good too. They've been very good at helping us get everything done we need to get done.
I asked you how you're getting along with Fickell, but I wanted to ask this. I mean, Urban Meyer wants, when he brings guys in, he wants guys who can recruit. He wants somebody to bring something to the table, not necessarily looking for a guru. But I'm just wondering, you personally, what's a little bit of a difference you might bring to this defense from the standpoint of a scheme standpoint, or philosophically speaking? Is there anything that, as you look at it,
I think 28 years of coaching defense.
Yeah.
Because even when I was a head coach, some of the years I was the defensive coordinator as well. And the years that I did that, it wasn't where I just called the plays. I literally did every bit of the defensive coordinator. So hopefully that experience can bounce some questions off me and some different things and learn some lessons the hard way. And maybe we don't have to go through the pain on some of those things.
I know guys like Malik Hooker played mostly on special teams last year, Coach, but how much have you watched of guys like Malik Hooker and some of those young safeties out there?
Every single snap they've played, and then all the snaps of what we've done in the winter program, all the snaps that we've done now. We didn't do snaps in the winter program, but all their physical output to judge their ability, to judge their mental toughness, all those things.
When you think about the two safety spots, what's the difference in the skill sets when you think about, does this guy maybe fit more this spot or the other spot?
Well, the one spot is more of a corner-like spot where you're covering a lot more. Now, it can happen to both, so I mean, you don't pigeonhole it that way. They both got to be really good athletes. And the other spot is probably involved in the run force more. So he's a little bit more of a sturdier guy. But like I said, we're training them all at both right now because we don't want to pigeonhole ourselves where we can't play the best two and then the third best and the fourth best. Because sometimes you can trap yourself like that if you're not careful. We're not that complicated where they can't learn both, at least initially. And then what you do is you hone in as you get closer and you become really an expert at one of them.
At a place like Rutgers, did you maybe prefer to play older players maybe more so than younger guys kind of get into the mix earlier here where the recruiting is a little different?
If a guy's ready to play, you play him. I didn't care. It didn't matter to me where I was. We had some very productive young players and then some not so.
I was wondering, a little bit of practice we got to see on Tuesday. You seemed like you were very hands-on with everything, and I wonder, when you were a coordinator or a head coach, were you able to do that as much, or is that something you can do a little more now in this position?
Well, you're not responsible. I was responsible for everything.
Right.
So it was harder to be hands-on. Although I was a hands-on head coach, I don't have to worry about the offense now. That's not my problem. So I work in the defensive side and I work in special teams. So it really cut out a huge piece of what I used to have to worry about.
I thought you looked like a young coach out there. Like I just wondered if
What
that
are you
was
saying?
I just mean you could have been a guy in your
here.
first or second year on the job. I just wondered if that was kind of refreshing being able to do something like that. Or?
I had a blast. The last 2 practices have been a lot of fun. All right, guys, I appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.